Hi, I'm Rachel Greenstein here with Mark Citron. This is Frozen Futures, where we discuss and highlight the NHL's future and rising stars. Before we get into what we're going to talk about today, just want to give an update from last weekend. Minnesota did very much lose both games against Michigan. They did put up a good fight that first game, though. It did go to overtime. And then, in a shocking turn of events, Minnesota, Duluth, and St. Cloud State split the weekend with St. Cloud actually beating Duluth 6-0 in one of the games. That
Wow.
shocking to everyone. But today we're going to get into the Beanpot.
Where Boston teams face off.
Shouts to Harvard's women's team for winning the women's Beanpot. But yeah, let's get into it. I think, honestly, a lot of the goalies in the Beanpot, which involves Northeastern, Boston University, Boston College, and Harvard, the goalies are all really similar. And, they all have really similar stats, really similar backgrounds. So I think what's going to make or break it is honestly power forwards because it's weird when you look at the goalie stats, they all have great save percentages, but they're still letting in almost 3 goals per game for all of the starting goalies for all 4 teams. It's kind of bizarre. It's kind of crazy that how many shots are getting to them, that their save percentages are still 0.908, for example, and they're letting in 2.75 goals on average. What's going on there, Mark?
Um, well, it's a very structured, college hockey is really structured. So they're either special teams or a breakdown or, yeah, I don't really think you can look at anything on the internet or um, just on video online. It's not the same as, I'm like the old man scout over here. It's not the same as being in person. And again, I don't really think. I think the Jacob Fowlers for sure, and the goalies like that, at least in these type of teams with the Beanpot that we're talking about, BU, Boston College, Harvard, and
Fowler's
Northeastern.
not there anymore.
Yeah, no, he's in the NHL. I mean, so it's
Yeah.
like there's not a goaltender. I mean, right now, that's I'd say the caliber of that. And I'm not saying all the goalies are mid, but I mean, I like Luca Cloutier, at least some of the freshman goaltender, Boston College. But I don't really, he's a freshman. I mean, it's crazy, and I'm glad that he's thriving at least on paper. But again, I think you're kind of maybe you look toward a veteran in this type of tournament. I think as you can run with it as a freshman, but I'm looking at different game breakers though. So is it going to be defensive structure? Is it going to be again special teams, or as you said, power forward type players? So I'm looking at something more of a BCBU type of feel this year, Rachie. What do you think?
So I think personally, okay, just backing up a little bit. So BU, BC, Northeastern are all Hockey East, but Harvard's ECAC, and it's kind of weird because Harvard has played less games than BU, BC, and Northeastern have. Not by a ton, but they've played 4 or 5 less games
Right.
than they have. But
It's always been like
I,
that.
to me, you
At
look
least,
at our dear friend Mick Thompson on Harvard, who is currently leading Harvard in points. He's got 20 points in 18 games. He's hanging with the big boys in Hockey East. Number one on BU is Cole Hudson, which
yeah,
we could spend a whole episode just talking about the Hudson brothers, but he's
yeah,
got 23 points in 22 games. So I think Harvard can hang with them. I think I think they
I
I think
agree.
they can. They've
I
got
think
good
they can.
goaltending. But it's actually funny because looking at all of, the leaders on all 4 of these teams, they're actually all USHL guys who have all played each other before. So leader on BC is James Higgins. We are very familiar with his brother Michael. James was on the USNTDP. Cole Hudson was on the NTDP, who's leading BU. Dylan
Yep.
Riskovian leading Northeastern. He was on
Solid.
Cedar Rapids, was it? And then Mick, of
Yeah.
course, our Steel Boy. So these guys are all really familiar with each other. Um, and just outside of even the college scape. So I think
Yeah,
familiarity plays a
yeah.
big role in this.
Eddie Stiga scored the game winner. Is on BC. I like and just looking at the roster and stuff like that. I like BC a lot on paper. I mean, they get
Well,
a
I think
lot of
yeah, exactly. On paper, that's the key word here. I think BC has a lot of guys when you're looking at their roster who stand out more. There are a lot
yeah,
more recognizable names on that team. There's quite a few NHL draft picks on that team. Again, James Higgins was 7th overall. Was that last year? Um,
yeah. Happy
so yeah, I
Gilmore.
mean, yeah,
That
yeah,
was
they had Adam Sandler
Thank you so
announcing
much
his.
for drafting me.
Yeah,
They
well, he
couldn't
said
hear me.
that Happy
That'd be
Gilmore
great.
was his favorite movie, so they got Adam
That's
Sandler
so
to
cool.
call the draft for. Actually, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at their um, roster right now. It's like all the guys for the most part. There's like more than half of the guys who are NHL prospects are with the Bruins, which is kind of interesting. Um,
Right in the backyard there.
exactly right down the street. So I wonder how much knowing that they're kind of in the backyard of the team that drafted them is, because you can only imagine that there's gonna be a lot of scouts at this game. There's gonna be a lot of people watching
Oh yeah.
them, and I'm
Well,
sure a
it's
lot of
just
the Bruins people are gonna have their eyes on their Bruins prospects.
yeah, no, well, obviously, what are they gonna put their hands over their face? I mean, it's like
Yeah, they're actually
no,
gonna
but
sit
it's not the
out. They're
biggest
they're
deal.
gonna say
No,
we
it's
don't want to
such a
do
big
this.
deal for these guys. It's such a big deal. I mean, like they don't really even give it like no rats. They don't give a rat's tail about scouts and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, they do in terms of their intermediate updates and all that stuff. But like this is something where you're only in college once like this. You're only playing college hockey once, right? This is special. And shout out to my family friend G Money Scalise because he and his son, I mean, they've been going to this since he was a little nugget. I think he's like a college kid now. But I just want to shout him out because he goes every year from Pittsburgh up to this tournament. And G Money Scalise, I hope you have fun this
Finger
year, man.
guns.
But it's such, and I mean, if you look at let's look at the past few winners here. Just let's. I mean, I know that this year is different and all that, but um, at least for me, I just think you want a veteran team. You want a veteran team with this because we could talk about all the notable players, but you're telling me basically when you say, well, they have a lot of NHL notable guys like on BC, but it's like, what are you telling me? Like who the favorite is, or are you telling me which players we're actually going to look at? Like, what's the deal?
Right. I think it's just, again, all of this is on paper, so of course it doesn't always translate, but those are guys that you're going to be paying closer attention to.
They're not thinking about the scout that's in section 108.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
definitely not.
but there
But the
there's a
people
lot
who
of
are
other things.
watching the game, they're going to be watching these specific guys because they stand out. However, BC actually doesn't have as good of a record as BU does. Um, or Northeastern. BU, not by like a lot. Like it's really close actually, but BU is number 3 in Hockey East. BC is number 4, and then you got Northeastern, who's number 5 in Hockey East. Um, but BU's 12, 10, and 1. They're all like so similar records. Like these are all like really similar teams, and that's what's gonna make it like weird because they're like they're gonna be close games. And these goalies, again, it's weird because like you look at them and they have great save percentages, but their goals against aren't fantastic. Like
Yeah.
they're averaging almost 3 goals a game, most of them.
Well,
So
I don't really. Yeah, that's where I'm like, they don't get much chili hot, Rachel, except Luca Cloutier, freshman at Boston College. I mean, you got some
is that
veteran guys in
biased
that.
though?
Not really. I mean, it depends. Like I think for this tournament, yes, that might be a little bit, but like looking on paper, let's see. I mean, the goaltending for BU, it's easy for me to just say, oh yeah. But I'm looking for like a senior kid. I mean, in this tournament, um, I don't really. Again, I don't really. I think it could come down to that, but I'm looking at the game breakers too. Like,
Yeah, well,
what kind of
BU
game
has
breakers?
like 87 goalies. They have 4 goalies, which is kind of odd.
It's
Um,
dizzy. Yeah,
and so, but
Lacroix.
because of that, like it almost makes me feel like they don't have as good of a chance.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like BC. Personally, as I said 3 times now, but
BU's
he's
got a
on court.
lot of NHL prospects, though.
What's wrong with that? They take
Nothing. No, I'm
longer
just
or
saying
more
they
raw.
have a lot of them.
I I just think that overall, I mean, Harvard has a pretty decent roster too, but who's in the cage for them? Couldn't tell you really. I couldn't tell you. Oh, who's their goalie? I can't tell you who their starting
They've got
goaltender.
this is a guy whose name we're actually
Charette?
Sharrett. But
Charette?
he's been good, and he's big too. So Harvard has big goalies. Both of them are six. One of them 6'3", the other 6'2". But the one who gets the start I think he's gotten the start every game this season. Yeah, it looks like it is Charrett.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's won 10 games out of the 18 that he started. He's 10-7-1. But again, he's another one. So he's 6'3". His save percentage is .90, .908, but his goals against average are 2.75. And then the year before, it was also basically exactly the same stats, actually. .909 save percentage and 2.77 goals against the year before. That's actually kind of crazy that he had exactly the same, pretty much. But again, it makes you wonder, like, what's going on with defense here? Like,
Well,
why
at
is
least he hasn't allowed more than 3 goals and only 1, 2, 3, so 4
right? But my
times.
question is, how is your goals against average so high, but your save percentage is so good?
Because I feel like, again, the structure. So, like, a lot of games he hasn't allowed much. Like, look at his last 3 games, he's allowed only 4 goals combined. But then his 3 games before that, 2, 5, and 3. He's gotten a little bit better, at least incrementally, because before that it was 2, 3, 7. So it all just sort of, again, it's all stuff that's on paper, but can you win the big game? Like the stuff I saw, he lost streaky, at least for Charette. He lost 4 in a row. I mean, between at Quinnipiac, 9-1 loss, allowed 7 on 26. Played the whole game. Then he lost the next night at Princeton by a goal, 30 and 30. He allowed 3 on 33. Then at Dartmouth a week later, lost 5-4, allowed 5 on 21 shots. So that's like you can just analyze that. Oh, but then his last game where he left off, he's 28-28 against Union win. So what does it tell you? Statistics. He's probably going to lose his next start. I don't know when, but it's like it's flip a coin. It's just like have fun, enjoy it. But pretty crazy, at least goalies. This is where they're in another world. I mean, you can just look at numbers, but
well, and that's what's hard about goalies
play.
is like, the stats aren't always representative of the game.
No, I think never. And like they always care about the save. Let's be real. They always care about save percentage nowadays. Like they want it to be over 910 or at least at 910 at the minimum. So they can stop at least 9 out of every 10, but they'd like that to be, 19 to 20 rather than 9 of 10, obviously. But it's like that's really what they care about. And so sometimes you get really good goalies, and then they allow a goal or two when it's a 1-goal game or a 2-goal game, and then they're like, oh shit. And it's like I'm not saying they, but yeah, you want the goalies that are. That's okay, right? It's this is a tournament that is so legendary.
It's so fun
it's
too.
So special. Gunnar Wolf Fontaine actually won it for Northeastern. I think they won 2 while he was there, and I just remember though, like it's crazy. Like I can't even imagine what that celebration is like, what the feeling is like. I mean,
I think I'm flip flopping my position here. I'm abandoning Harvard. I'm sorry, Harvard. I'm sorry, Mickey T. Flopping myself. So when you look at Harvard, when you look at like the individual stats, Mick is like it's like Mick with 20 points and it like drops off. I think the next guy's like 15 points. So like there's not a whole lot of scoring depth here. And we talked about that last episode. Depth makes a difference. Right. You can't rely on everyone.
Well,
so
they've also
I think
had that small sample size, as you said. Like
right, that's true too. They do have a smaller sample size.
They've almost played 20 games. Yeah.
But I still think that big drop off, it's not sustainable. And when you're going up against teams like Northeastern, BC, BU, you need to have everyone contributing. So because of that, I think that I will be flip flopping my position to Northeastern. I think Northeastern might have this.
Why
They've
is
got
that?
Dylan Raskovian, who's their leader right now, and he's got 28 points in 21 games played. And it doesn't just drop off, too, because number two, Jacob Mathieu, is 22 points in 21 games. And then the next guy, 16 in 21. So, like, it's a very, like,
Joe
steady, like,
Connor.
this is like
Connor
what we were
Joe.
talking about with, what team was it? Like, UMD, maybe? It's like every guy is, like, contributing. You got contributions coming across the board. It's not like it drops off. It's a pretty steady decline there. Um,
What
yeah,
about
I
their
think.
goaltending
Well,
for
so you got
Northeastern?
Lon and Zacher, who's doing. He's been taking most of the games. And he has the best. Again, we keep saying like goaltending stats, like they mean something, but they also don't. So he's. So what's interesting about him is he came from Brown. He was in Brown his first
Mhm.
2 seasons. He's a junior. So this is his first year at Northeastern, but he's 10-7-0. And again, as we were saying, like goalie stats, like they're hard to gauge sometimes. They are hard. But when you look at a goalie whose save percentage is .934, that's kind of, and he's got the lowest goals against too, with two.
Right.
So, to me, Northeastern seems like the most complete team. Um, again, that goaltending, a big goalie too, 6'2". I love the way goalies are starting to get like so gigantic now.
I mean, but like, look at the teams. I'm okay. Boston College, but Stonehill too.
Right, so they have
UConn,
a different
UMass,
schedule. They have a
UMass,
weirder schedule.
New Hampshire,
But
Vermont. These are all cupcake schools. I mean, Holy Cross. I mean, love you, Ryan Hardy.
cupcake schools.
Army, West Point. It's like Massachusetts again. Denver. Okay, you played like 4 or 5 teams. So game against Boston College. Let's see. All right, look at that. One goal against out of 40, but then look, Boston College shutout, 32.
And
So
honestly,
you're not
Boston College has a
Denver,
similar deal.
35 save shutout. You're right. Well, look
Yeah,
at
he's
that. It could
great.
be
The goalie's been
BU.
great.
Well, so it's going to be fun because look, we'll see. I mean, lately those last 3 starts, he's allowed 3 or more goals, including against BU. He allowed 4 on 31. So it's like we could just sit here and talk about it all day. But yeah, it is going to be good to watch, and I like that pick. I mean, I'm still gonna, as I said, now. What you already know, Boston College. I mean, but is it a slam dunk? No, it's the best part about it. So I play the
Well, yeah,
game. So
that's what makes this tournament so fun. It's so unpredictable. You you can never tell where it's gonna go. I mean, like you can try your best to guess, and of course that's what we're doing here. It's all speculation, and what the way teams look on paper is not the same as they are on the ice, especially when they're playing against big matchups like this, like big rivals. And I think that's also part of it is the emotions that come with it. It's exciting. It's an exciting game for everyone. It's not just exciting to watch; it's exciting to play in. So, it's a question of, I guess, maturity. Um,
yeah, leadership, right? I think
yeah,
because
leadership, exactly. And again, when I'm looking at Lawton Zacher, who's a junior, and he's
good
been
story.
great. Exactly, exactly. So, there are storylines that go into it. There's maturity. There's a lot of things that go into what can make or break a team. And yeah, I mean, we're just what is this, a shell?
Yeah, just want to send you those beach positive vibes here from the
Yeah,
penthouse.
positive vibes go into all of the
We're not the
Beanpot
Weather
players
Channel,
here.
but that's no. I wish there's a couple of things like we could just extend this talk into a million things, but I kind of want to like yeah, it would have been cool to like go to the Beanpot for just to see it once, like at least for someone like me, and because I can't imagine being at least a player in that, and it should be fun, Rachel. Yeah, so you got
I mean, yeah, playing
Northeastern,
at
I
TD
got BC.
Garden.
I just think in the app, yeah, just the atmosphere and because it's honestly adult Mark wants to say it's so silly, but like it's so cool. That's because I'm not in it. I always said haters are confused admirers, and it's always like I'm not hating the Beanpot, but I actually originally thought that the tournament was more for some reason I thought there was more Ivy League like to it, but it's just Boston. I get that. Like
Yeah, it's just the Boston colleges.
So that's
which is actually funny because a bunch of years ago, Minnesota actually had the North Star Cup, which was them trying to do their own version of the Beanpot. Safe
I've
to
been
say
ripping
it
on
didn't
Mini.
work.
I
It did
ripped
not
them last
work.
episode.
It
And
did
I'm just
not
like,
last very
go
long.
back to your flow, stick to your flow and stuff, the high school stuff, because that's honestly, Zam Plant sort of taught me that about Minnesota. Which you're like, what? Like, but he taught me like how
Zam
serious.
comes up every single. It doesn't matter what we're talking about.
still
Zam and Max have come out repeatedly.
Even when the Hawk Jackson Blake won it for Eden Prairie in 2000.
Oh, you're talking high school tournament.
But like I didn't realize, like I knew it was a big deal, but I didn't realize it was like major, like until probably.
Oh yeah, they sell out. Like they sell out.
So they should
arenas.
just stick to what they're good at.
Stick to their high school hockey tournaments.
The Wild look good, but it's like it's just let's forget it. We're talking about Minnesota because as much as the Beanpot's all great, Matt. Come on, man, don't get me going now because the Massholes are gonna have something to once again celebrate. With the Patriots being the AFC. Just sick of their stuff.
Go Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree, but no one cares about our opinion on that. So I'm just again, haters are confusing. I'm just so jealous the Patriots get all these rings, and it's like, can't they just be bad for 10 years like everybody else? Like it took them only 3 years to.
This is so off topic.
This is what happens with me.
I'm just like looking at BC right now, and James Higgins is having a great season. And
what about our boy? What about yeah, they have a lot of guys like.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys who are doing pretty well. And it's like you actually go through like their defense and like in terms of like plus minus, they're looking pretty good actually. And again, plus minus is you could take it or leave it, but
yeah.
But when I see a defenseman with a plus ranking, like that makes me feel a little bit better because he's not on the ice when the other team scores, so clearly he's doing his job as a defenseman, right? So, I'm looking at it right now, and you got oh gosh, I'm going to butcher this.
What?
Luke, let me just one of the BC defensemen.
Wait,
he's plus 13.
Wait, I can't even. Let's see. Is it Radivojevic? Oh, wait.
Yeah, that guy.
Radivojevic?
The Slovakian.
I think it's Radivojevic. Luka Radivojevic. So
Radivojevic. That 4 times fast.
It's either Radivojevic or Radivojevic. I think it's Radivojevic for some reason.
But
because
his
dad was in the show. Yeah,
and as a defenseman, he's got 12 points in 18 games, and he's plus 13.
He's a plus.
Plus 13! And he had a great World Juniors tournament. He had 5 points in 4 games. Slovakia put up a great fight at World Juniors. Which actually, this guy is listed as born in Edina, Minnesota. One of the 3 E's.
Why do you're obsessed with Minnesota? Is what I've.
No, I'm just saying he's listed as born in Minnesota, but he represents Slovakia on the international field.
Stage, right.
Yeah, but he's still young. He's only 19. He just turned 19 like 3 weeks ago. He's not the biggest guy. He's 5'10", which is so funny. Like saying, "Oh, he's tiny. He's 5'10".
His dad played in the show. Is that what D?
Well, that's true for so many of these guys.
I mean,
there's so many of them whose dads play in the show.
Interesting. He's undersized though. I mean,
right, and he's been great for them. So
he was pretty offensive minded at Muskegon, so I know it's different game, structure game, but yeah, it's hard. It's not easy to get points at the college level either, So
exactly, and it goes back to the question: what's going to make or break these teams? Because they're all somewhat like pretty similar, similar records. The goaltending, their stats are almost again with Zacher. His is by far the best stats, but by far isn't even like that huge of a difference. Like all of these guys have 0.9 whatever for their save percentages, so they're all doing pretty well in this season. So, is it going to be the power forwards? Is it going to be like James Higgins bursting down the ice to score a goal, or is it going to be? Oh God, I already forgot how to. No, let's go. Drew Fortescue. I know how to pronounce that one. Rangers prospect,
I
mind
don't
you.
think
But like, is it
Radovoy
going to be
makes any
someone like
huge.
Drew Fortescue who's stopping the play? Is that what's going to make the
Yeah.
difference? Because honestly, with the goaltending so similar, I don't think goaltending is what's going to make or break these teams. I think what's happening off the puck is going to make a bigger difference.
Well, you gotta have that big save, Rachel. You know, you gotta have that big save, and I think that is
Yeah, but you don't
important.
have to make the big save if the defense aren't letting the puck get to the net.
I think that there's gonna be. It could be the final. It could be the game before the final, but there's gonna be a moment where at least one of these goalies makes a big save to, you know, at least remember that save type of moment. It doesn't have to even be like that flat, like save of the year, but it's like it's when goalies make the saves that they have to, and the moments that they usually the first probably 25, 30 minutes of the game. But like if you're,
It
yeah,
sets the
again,
tone.
I still, but you're right in terms of the level of play and competition. That do you go with the? I mean, do you trust a freshman goaltender? Do you trust a goaltender that's been there, or do you trust the guy that's played really well on paper, has transferred, been a good story? You know, it's like so. I think that does add a dimension, but I think it's going to be really exciting. So I'm going to take BC, and at least we can go move on from there.
Yeah, again, I think all of the four of these goalies, they're all going to be making big saves. They're all going to be coming up big. You know, I think they're all going to be doing exactly what their teams need them to be doing. Why are you showing
The
off your
cheetah,
Cheetah
the
Celebrini? He's not
cheetah,
even on BU anymore.
the
Aiden
cheetah.
Celebrini's still there, but Matt's
Yeah,
long gone.
I
But
heard the little guy's really good too. Their little
oh,
brother.
RJ, yeah, RJ's really good.
He's gonna be insane. Yeah, bro. Little baby cheetah right now. He's a little teensy cheetah.
He's just a cub.
I don't know how old he is, but someone's saying how nasty he is. And I think he's like 14 or 13 or something. I mean, still relevant. I mean, I just wanted to.
Not relevant to
If
this
anyone wants a
conversation.
cheetah. Oh, don't get me started. I'm Minnesota. Right.
We're not even talking about that. So okay, so you're locking in with BC.
Yeah, it's fine for the sixth time, and it's final. It is. So I'm looking forward to the Beanpot, Rachel. When does that start?
It starts next Monday.
All right,
So
beautiful.
the
Because it's
women's just
usually it ends
happened.
the first week of February. Yeah.
Yeah, the women's just happened this past weekend. Again, Harvard won. Congratulations to them. You know, and it's funny because in the beginning of this, I was like, oh yeah, Harvard. But now I'm like, maybe not. Now, perhaps Northeastern. Again, like, you know, the BUBC Northeastern are all neck and neck in the standings, and they're all very similar teams. I think they're all going to be really close games. So it's going to be entertaining. It's always entertaining when these teams play each other because, like we talked with the whole rivalries from last episode, when there's a rivalry involved, tensions are going to be high. There's a lot of history there.
It's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
so
I'm just
cool.
appreciating it. Like, I mean,
And
it's
again, they're playing at TD
nuts.
Garden.
Goes
That's
nuts.
awesome. Playing in an NHL rink. Which again makes it fun. Again, looking at all the BC guys who are drafted, but how many of them are drafted by the Bruins? There's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Give
5,
me.
6.
Can you give me their name? It sounds like just give me their names right off the bat.
So for BC,
Ask AI. ChatGPT would be like,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. We do not support AI in this house.
Good.
So you got James Hagens. I haven't even heard of half of these guys. Oh
I know I'm putting you on the
my gosh,
spot, but just
my computer's all glitching. But William Moore,
Will
Latornu,
Moore. Yeah.
Yelvik,
Or
Gasso.
Gasso. Yeah.
Yelvik is Swedish, so I imagine he came from a Swedish league. Um, but yeah, you've got all of these Bruins prospects, and you know, of course, they've gone to development camp. They've skated on that ice before, so
No, I
it's
mean I don't really. There's a couple of guys that are highly seem high ceiling. I don't really have to do my. There's a couple. I don't know the Swedish guy, but
he's like
yeah.
he's only played 3 games this season.
And Jumbo Hagens. I mean, obviously,
Jumbo
I haven't.
Hagen.
I'd hit him on my personal short series that I had with his brother, and great kid, obviously, but
Great family.
no,
They're such a good family.
I think the next thing to talk about is probably, at least for the next week too, is just who to look for. I mean, because I look at other guys too on these rosters, and we talk about game breakers. But yeah, how about Tynan Lawrence coming in one of the new roles this year, where like over the break he joined BU from the USHL, which the USHL lost their best
Right.
player there, and it's like, I mean, it doesn't really matter for the league because Muskegon would probably win it. I mean, he's a game breaker, but he's a freshman now, and he's just being thrown right into that. That's pretty sweet.
Again,
But
that's part of why I'm like leaning more towards Northeastern because firstly, I remember Dylan Ruskovian when he was in the USHL. That guy was a monster in the USHL. He's tough. He's a goal scorer. He blocks shots. He'll hit. Like he does everything you could possibly need him to. And he's a junior right now. And in 21 games, he's got 28 points. And I think Dylan Ruskovian could be a game changer for Northeastern. Um, again, he's like a wreck. He's not even that big. He's 5'10". He's not the biggest guy. He's like 5'10", 170, which is kind of 170 is not small for someone who's 5'10", but like it's not big. So
no,
he's not the biggest guy, but like somehow he still steamrolls you. That guy, he's just built different. I don't know what he's doing in the offseason to make him like a bull, but that dude is crazy. And again, when you're playing against teams that are smaller guys, you need to steamroll them. And again, he's small, but like, quote unquote small, but like, yeah, and he's fast too. Oh my gosh. And he plays every role you need him to. That's what is like the standout key for Riskovian for me and why I'm leaning more towards Northeastern now because he's so versatile. Like
sure.
he could play penalty kill, he could play power play.
I like
You know,
that.
he
Yeah.
he plays well off the puck and like I said before, when you have these goalies who are all very comparable, I think the play off the puck is going to make the difference.
Always is. Yeah,
Yeah,
always is.
exactly. Play off the puck. It's a big deal. And again, Dylan Riskovian, he's so good at that. You know, he both in both directions. Like he'll zoom past the defender in the offensive zone before they even realize what's happening. But in the defensive zone, he'll knock you off the puck. Like if he's on the ice and he's coming at you, you're not holding on to that puck for very long. If you see him coming, you need to pass it because he's going to get you.
Yeah. Well, I like game breakers. Teddy Stiga scoring the game winner, win the gold for USA 2 years ago.
Yes, I
On
remember
the
that.
World Junior. Will Moore is there too. I mean, raw kid, has potential. Will Vogt, another USA kid. I like Jake Sonraw, played for Dubuque a couple years
Right,
ago. He's
there's
got.
so many USHL guys on BC or just
I
in this
like.
tournament in general.
Sure, but I just like, but they're well rounded, is what I'm saying. And
Yes.
and then you have the Hagen's family. You can just throw them in. You had your boy Fortescue. You got a pretty decent defense there. See, our old friend Nolan Joyce made an appearance as well, and yeah, can they have a freshman goalie like Luca
The
Cloutier, which
engineer.
I've seen him make, so it's gonna be fun, but I still would say, hey, I got to pick, and
I mean,
yeah,
all
it's
these
gonna be
guys you're
close,
talking about
but
are all BC guys, so.
yeah, exactly. That's my case for. And you got the Goose Lucas Gust, but like he's a senior, and it's just
He's been there
crazy. I
for
mean,
like
so you got
87 years.
a lot of veterans. I know it's been. I mean, I don't know if it's
It
5, but
feels like he's been there for so long.
I think it might be his 5th year. Yeah, but
Is it?
I think so. But I don't really
Well, he's
know how
got the
that.
C too. He's the captain, so you've
Yeah,
got good leadership with him.
Goose
I remember
on
when
the
we were at the
loose.
Steel, a bunch of the Steel boys loved him. He's a good leader for them. But
Yeah, I mean, so they have a
oh
mix of
no, he's only in his fourth year. It just feels like he's been there for 8 years.
well, point is, yeah, you got a little mix of everything, but from rookie to veteran to goaltending. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be really fun. And again, I think there's other players to watch, which we could go over. But like for Harvard, yeah, I feel like they're really a stagnant roster. Like
It's
I
the
see these
drop
guys,
off that got me to change my mind.
it's like very blue. Like it's just
Right?
like
Again, it just drops off. You have Mick with 20,
they're. I
who's
mean,
he's again Shouts to Mick
Yeah,
Thompson,
Ennis
doing
fan.
great, proud of him, but he can't do it all
Very
himself.
underwhelming. Very on paper, very underwhelming roster. Little too. Not. I mean, even the Bear guys like Mason
Well, it's like
Lagenburgs,
weird because you look
Kikata
at these
IK
rosters and
Real
it's
and
like the
Rubio
biggest
again.
guys on these teams are the goalies.
It's just like I don't know. They really don't get the chili hot at all on there.
You really like that phrase today. Or I guess BC is actually a pretty big team, but like, yeah, Harvard's tiny.
I think Luka Clote is perfectly capable of that, but all it takes is one shot.
Avalanche pick too.
So I like
Yeah,
him in net, and I don't. This is where this kid at least is going to be in the spotlight. Who went to Brown and transferred to is it BU?
No, Northeastern.
Oh well, yeah, no, they've actually won like 2 of the last 4, right? At Northeastern, correct me if I'm not mistaken, they won it. The Beanpot. What? Let's see.
But again, going back to it, I don't think it's the goalies that are going to make the difference. Yeah, Northeastern won 2024, 2022. Boston University won last year. And then like before those years, it was like BC repeatedly voting. But again, I don't think it's coming down to the goalies. I think it's going to be a player like Dylan Raskovian who's going to make a difference. And again, it's not just how he plays on the puck. It's not his speed, his aggressiveness. It's his dynamicism and versatility that I think is going to make a difference. And so that's why I'm locking in now. I'm officially locking in with Northeastern.
Have fun.
Did you say have fun?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. And it's going to be fun for all these guys to play into. It's also fun for the two of us specifically because we've seen all these guys who were teammates in the past or played each other in the past.
Connor
when we were in the
Connor.
USHL. So,
but some wheels. That's all. That's
all right. So, question: do you think it's going to be high or low scoring?
Oh, come on, it's college hockey. That's not going to be high scoring.
Well, but you say that. St. Cloud won 6-0 the other day.
That's not a lot of goals. Like, I don't want to ever promote gambling, but you look at goals, a lot of goals.
I don't think people are going to gamble on college hockey.
People, I don't want to talk about it.
That's true. People find things to gamble on.
Over 6 goals is a lot of goals. When one team scores 6 goals, that's a statement, but it's not. Like, if you have, if it's a 3-3 game, anything over that's like, I think for me, offensive. Like if it's or more than 3-2, so even 6 is fine. Like over 5 a game is for me, and it's just I think that could maybe at moments there could be a game or two, but I don't think so. Why does that even matter? Because at this point,
all right. So hold on.
People are gonna start to get bored.
So for your end here, your final. Who do you have playing, and what's the final score?
I have BC winning in overtime. And I have them beating BU, and I think the score is going to be 4-3 or
in overtime,
2-1. Yeah,
I hope it goes to overtime. I really do hope it goes to overtime.
I think the game winner is going to be scored by Teddy Stiga.
By Teddy Stiga, he comes up big when you need him to.
Again,
he comes up big. He definitely does.
He's going to be a great Nashville Predator. He's going to be a good player there.
I thought you just said national Predator.
No, he's gonna be a good Predator one day, so they should like what he's got. He's a good player, and that.
Again, a lot of talent in this tournament.
We'll see. It's easy for me to just say he's gonna do it again. I shout out to honorable mention Jake Sanrial and all. I don't want to get biased. I love my boys that are on there, but no one really cares. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I like that kid's a slippery player too, Sanrial.
Okay, so you're going.
Now. Well, it should have been ladies first, but whatever.
BC, BU, overtime win, Teddy Stiga with the overtime goal.
Dude, wait, you're copying me or?
No, I'm confirming that's what you just said.
I mean, I'll go with him or I gotta go with my boy or any of the Hagens or Sanrial. So I mean, can I just sprinkle a couple in there or not?
Sprinkle a James Hagens in there. All right, I'm locking in.
I mean, I don't know.
Northeastern BC in the final. Let's go.
Ritz Kobe.
4-2. 4-2
Oh,
Northeastern.
really?
I see
Big
it.
prediction. 4-2, huh? Really?
4-2 Northeastern, winning it all. Perhaps Riscovian with the game-winning goal, but I cannot stress enough how it's been 3 years since I saw this guy play in the USHL, and I can still so clearly picture him because he just left that much of a mark on me. I think again I hate that I've been glazing him this entire
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, why are you
But
doing
he's
that?
just that good. He's just that much of a difference maker. But all right, only time will tell.
His last name is so hard to
Okay, that's one of my
spell.
biggest flexes is the fact that I can spell it without even thinking about it. The Hryscowian, Riscovian. And you can check that. That was right.
I couldn't believe that when he did it. I mean, out loud to me too. So his brother, yeah, his brother
His
plays for
brother's been
Dallas.
good
So.
for Dallas.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, he's no for. Yeah, he's going to be one of those kids. We should have an undrafted free agent special later in our.
Right? Yeah,
Because he would
absolutely.
be
Because
a
he's
guy
not
where there's a
drafted.
bunch. There's a bunch even I was looking at with even Chuck Major. You know what I mean? There's a bunch
Charlie on
just in general.
Cornell. Yeah,
That's
our
just an
Charlie Major on
example.
Cornell has been doing
But
great. Mick Thompson
that's.
not drafted.
I mean, eventually these guys will get signed. It's just what kind of
Yeah, and
what.
all these guys we're talking about
He'll
are
get a
21 and
crack, yeah,
over, so they're
pro.
too old.
Mick, I
But
mean, Mick will get a crack. He'll definitely
well,
play in. Yeah,
Mick went to Toronto's
Mick
development
Muffin.
camp.
See, it's just, but he'll get a crack eventually when he'll probably
Yeah,
play
I mean,
all 4
but it's
years,
also
and
funny you say that because I feel like this is the tournament where they're gonna
true.
stand
I
out.
know you mentioned that earlier, and I was like, oh, they don't pay
The
attention to
scouts.
scouts, and scouts of shit, and rat ass, and all this. But no, maybe those kids do. The one that's got to play for right. It's almost it's an important point, Rachel. So I'm glad you served me some of my own feeding because I deserve it once in a while. And it's I don't know. I just try to soak everything in, and so I think for these kids too, I hope they have a good and a responsible time. But obviously, just it goes probably
I
that
just hope
quick.
everyone has fun.
Yeah, it's life. Enjoy and be sweet.
It's
Be
a
nice. It's not
game.
a lecture.
It's a
But it's a
game.
tradition.
It's a
The
storied
Beanpot.
tradition. It's a great tournament. It's going to be so fun to watch. But we'll see who's right in this. Watch it not be either.
How about that's only
Watch
wait
both of us be wrong. But
1952, the Beanpot story. I don't have it for you, but it's pretty good. It's for somebody
well,
Bernie,
this
my
is a
boy
tournament they
Bernie.
look forward to playing in all year
He's
because
the
it's
BU
fun.
announcer, Bernie. He's awesome. He's Weekend at Bernie's, on NHL Network Radio. He does a great job. But he's got the Beanpot stories, all of them. So that'd be cool. We should see we could have him on. He'd be like, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for having me on. Anyways, enough talk. Let's just let the games happen, please.
Yep. So
Next Monday, not the Monday that this is coming out, but the Monday after.
is Beanpot. Boston teams are playing each other. Mark's got BC against BU in the final, winning in overtime. And I've got Northeastern versus BC in the final with Northeastern taking the win. So only time will tell, but it's going to be a fun tournament regardless. And it's going to be interesting to see what makes or breaks each team.